It's time to go straight to the world of cricket, where Namibia defeated host Nigeria by 10 runs in the opening match of the ICC Under-19 Men's Cricket World Cup Africa Qualifier played on Friday at the Cricket Over at the Tafawa Balewa Square in Lagos. Now, Namibia won the toss and opted to bat. The Southern Africans set a mark of 133 runs for the loss of 10 wickets all out in just over 2 hours. Now, in response, Nigeria's Rahmon Ali got the crowd going with a huge 53 runs from 46 balls, while Femi Oresanwo added another 21 runs. Now, the hosts seemed to have the game in hand before a middle overs collapse, eventually finishing with 123 runs from 10 wickets. Now, in the other match of the day, played at the Unila cricket pitch, Kenya hammered Sierra Leone, winning by 58 runs. The tournament continues, of course, Saturday, which is today, when Tanzania face Uganda at the TBS Over, while Namibia take on Sierra Leone at the Unilag pitch.
The mindset and everything we came into the tournament is not just to host the tournament, but as well to win and to qualify for the World Cup. Though before now we played this Division 2 qualifier where we came third. And us hosting now, the major aim is just for us to, not just to host, like I said, but to also pull through and attend the World Cup in Namibia come next year. Namibia, Zimbabwe hosting come next year.
We've had an under-17 tournament being organized by the Nigerian Cricket Federation for the past 5 years. We've been consistent in partnership with PwC, and that is where we select these players from. So these boys are really under-19s. We can show you the database we have. At the last tournament hosted in Abuja just early this year, we have 34 states participating. And that means the game is spreading across the country. We've been able to put together and try to employ development officers for every state across the country. And we see the geopolitical zones are playing cricket.
All right, joining us this morning to talk about the Nigerian Under-19 cricket team and their first match of the qualifiers is senior correspondent of the Punch newspaper, talking about Abiodun Adewale. Good morning to you, and thank you very much for joining us.
Very much for having me, Favor. It's my pleasure.
All right. I would like to ask, what went wrong for Nigeria in the opening match against Namibia, and how do you think the team can improve in their next games, knowing fully well that, being the host nation, they should be able to have at least a good start towards the qualifiers?
Yeah, it was the least expected, having a proper start, a perfect start to the qualifiers, considering the fact that we are playing at home in front of our fans. But personally, I would say I wasn't really disappointed in the boys' performance, although the result was disappointing. Like you said in the match report, it was some kind of fall in the middle overs. Namibia had posted 133 runs all out in about 40-something overs. We needed to chase, and we started properly. If you compare what we've posted at the by the time we had 50 runs on board. If you compare it to what Namibia had done in the first innings, it was nothing compared to what the Nigerian boys were able to do. It was just all of a sudden, they started capitulating, despite the fact that we had one of our boys putting 50 runs on board. Namibia, the little that their batters could do in the first innings, their highest number of runs was 22 from one of their guys. And they just did 22, 19, 18, like that, and cumulatively, it was better than what Nigeria was able to do. Talk about what they need to avoid. We go against Tanzania tomorrow in our second game. Tanzania are currently playing their first game at the moment. This is a team that we know very well from the Division 1 qualifiers. Even before this year's qualifiers, the last time Nigeria under-19 boys tried to qualify for the World Cup, so they were also in our group. Tough opposition, you want to call them, but it's a team that we've known over time. And I think this is now the time for them to just shake off the nerves that we saw in that first game. Because to me, they were a bit nervous. I think they just need to get over that nervousness. And with that, they will be able to do the basics very well, because that's what cricket entails. And Captain Gafar Karim also said it during his pre-tournament interview that all they just have to do is do the basics. No pressure at all, but they just have to calm their nerves, get their runs on the board as quickly as possible against Tanzania, because this is a 50-over tournament. So if you look at the runs that are even on the board, that are even put on the board, you want to say, for a 50-over tournament, you should be expecting more. So I expect the Nigerian under-19 boys to do much better against Tanzania, and it's all a matter of calming their nerves, and they will be able to apply themselves to the game much better than they did against Tanzania.
All right, there's a bit of concern at the moment. I mean, when you look at the women's team in terms of cricket in Nigeria, they seem to be doing better than what the men's are doing. Now, the under-19, yes, you spoke about the positives you should pick from this, but they're playing against nations who are not going to relax. I mean, look at what Kenya did in their first game. Tanzania doesn't look as if it's going to be easy. So what would Nigeria do? What strategy do you think they can adopt to bounce back and keep their qualification hopes alive? And not just about looking at the aspect of hosting, but hosting to also make an impact. I know, yes, Nigeria is not a first-playing cricket nation.
Oh, well, I don't think many people want to agree now that Nigeria is not one of the best cricketing nations, because we are gradually getting there. I'll come back to the issue of female cricket versus male cricket in Nigeria. But first, let's look at what these boys have to do in terms of strategy. If you look at the 6 teams that are in this tournament, you probably want to rate Kenya, Namibia, and Uganda better than any other team in the tournament. But Nigeria are in the mix. Nigeria is a country that everybody wants to play at this moment, and I'm very sure our opponents are even wary. Last year, during the African Games, Nigeria recorded its first victory over Namibia at any senior tournament during the African Games. They didn't see that coming. Even our guys also beat them. It was a big one for them. So I was quite surprised that we really couldn't push them to the wall yesterday, although it was a nail-biting encounter. So going up against Tanzania, Uganda, Sierra Leone, and Kenya in our subsequent games, like I said, it's about basics. And there's a general word we used to say, cricket is biscuits. It can crack on any side. And with the way things are, it's evenly poised. This is under-19 cricket, because if you look at the rankings is majorly from what the senior team have been able to do. These are under-19 boys whose progress, if you look at the progress of Nigeria's under-19 boys, maybe in the last 3 years, it won't be too different from what you see their counterparts in Kenya, Namibia, and Uganda, who a lot of people might be seeing as the best playing nations in this.
All right. Okay. Let me go.
You don't have to.
Okay. Okay. I was going to ask. I mean, do you have a question for him?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Adewale, we've seen how progressive, cricket has been in Nigeria, especially with our different age grade teams. But, with this under-19 team in particular, do you think there's potential for them to turn the favor around for themselves in this tournament? Yes, we know that they've lost the opener, but sincerely speaking, when it comes to tournaments, losing your opener is really not a bad thing, but it's really how you're able to it's about what you're able to learn from that result and what you want to take over from there. So the question is, do they have enough quality to be able to possibly go all the way to the final stages of this tournament?
Yes, personally, I don't doubt them. It's a round-robin game, not the ones they play in the group stage and they drop out. So the opportunity to play every team in the competition gives you an edge to that. You have to re-strategize at every point in time after your matches. And it gives them the opportunity to say, okay, we've been able to get this. I'm very sure by the time they put a good foot forward against Tanzania, the beat goes on from there. Whoever is coming, Uganda, Kenya, Sierra Leone, they just have to keep it going as it is. So I don't doubt their qualities. These boys have everything. From what I saw during the Division 1 qualifiers, I think they have everything to keep going in this tournament and turn the campaign around. Depending on the other results, because like you said, losing your first game of the tournament is not a perfect way to start. To even think that it is only one out of these countries that will qualify, and that is whoever emerges at the top of the table at the end of 5 matches each.
All right, Adewale, I must say a big thank you to you for being able to bring us up to speed with the latest happenings in the world of the under-19 men's Africa Cricket World Cup qualifiers, the Africa edition. Thank you very much, and we look forward to Nigeria's comeback. I mean, we hope that they can learn from the first game and then get back to winning ways, and of course, be part of the teams that will qualify from this phase. Thank you very much for joining us.
My pleasure.